Jupiter, which was seed 1, and cemo was seeded 11 in the winner's bracket. So this is actually quite a good match to see. And from now we didn't have any base art drop from both our runners. And we have cemo getting some money inside the candles. We have the kettle from the short soul drop and the mentor blue soul early in the game. This is actually a really good soul for early game fights and for some movement, as if you use all of your MP in a straight room, you can go from one way to another in a really fast way. And I think that both of our runners are aware of this strat. cemo is still going to look for the 2 check accessible in the bottom of this place. If one of them have one of the blue soul, which is either Black Panther or Flying Armor, it would be something that would allow cemo to fly or to be to fall a bit slower, which gives him access to many more area, or it could be a double jump soul. So we don't have any soul here, so cemo is going to reset, as it will warp him back at the center of the room. So he still have mentor, and we found Catoblepas in the bottom of the reservoir. He's gonna equip the Cuddle, which is a pretty good knife, which does about 30-32 damage, and that hits twice, so it's a pretty good weapon early on. And we're going to get on the first fight of the Creaking Skull. And cemo is going to use right away the Manticore Soul, which is incredibly powerful, doing about 100 damage each tick. And here is our Blue Soul, which will be the Black Panther. So this is going to be a crazy fast seal, switching from Black Panther to Manticore during the fights, as Black Panther is usually a really late game option you unlock after beating Graham, which is the last boss of the game. And this is actually the fastest way of moving, one of the fastest ways of moving in the game. And this will give access to some pretty nice check right in the beginning. So we found Rando, which is a really good sword, does about 80 damage, and does not have any elements. So right now our runners are pretty low level, so it does only 62 damage. Oh, we see our first book, that which this book will require the Hippogriff or the Giant Bat Soul, as it's in an area that is restricted from being too high from a simple jump or a double jump. So we need something to fly to get there. So this is a really good information that both of our runners will have, as this is a check everyone does pretty early in the game. But we do know that something that will allow us to fly is pretty early in logic, as you need something to fly to access the top floor, which is required to get at the end of the game. So we do not have any movement option that opens up the castle right away, so we will be looking for something like a double jump or the Hippogriff or the Bat Soul. The most likely thing that may happen is the double jump, but we'll never know. If we saw that Hippogriff is in the logic, we could use it right away. Here, cemo doing really good movement to move around, and finding Skeleton Blaze in the alcove, which is kind of a really time-costing check. Usually if you don't find anything here, you would reset to warp to the save room, which is on top of this room. And so he found this slide here, and the slide will be a really good quality of life as it can unlock many checks in this seed. Most of them are in dancehall, but one of them is in study, and it can be a soul to access the upper area. So we have one red soul here, which is this armor, a really good fighting soul to use. And Cemo is going. Actually, okay, he found this one. Finding only some gym clothes here, which is actually a better armor than the casual clothes that Soma starts with. We have the Osafune, which is a really long-reach weapon. And actually, the usual time for a randomizer seed when having Panther is about an hour, I guess. Ooh, Cemo taking a lot of damage in this fight, not being able to charge up the Manticore Sword again, the Manticore fight. But this seems good. And so we have our first choice. Either Cemo can go right away and try to do something with his slide and his Black Panther, but he will be out of logic, or he can go and continue towards study in order to find a double jump or something that will help him continue on in the castle. And I guess he will go on to study, as he can check everything from here. He actually can go on the room on the right, as Black Panther allows for some early skip. Okay, Gravekeeper here actually put one room at the bottom of study in the logic. That's pretty interesting to know. And if one of the runners find out to get a weapon that is not jump cancelable, he could use the backdash to cancel the animation of each weapon attack. So that's a way to speed up the fights with a really more powerful weapon. And actually, Cemo has to be a lot careful not to take any damage here, as he's really low on life as even and do not have a good arm yet. And getting the slide from earlier put this place in the logic as it gets Malphus, so that's what Cemo was looking for. And now I guess he's going to just clear up all of study, as there can be a book or there can be also. Oh yeah, I didn't even bother reminding up what our runners are looking for. Our runners are looking for 3 books. We already found one, which is in the early, right next to the inner quarters. And they are looking for 3 books. The 3 books will be pointing towards 3 souls, and once our runner have the 3 souls, they will be able to defeat Graham and to open the chaotic realm as Soma became Dracula. So right now we are looking for those books and those souls. So we already know where one book is, and really good use of the Manticore Soul to get this crazy fight here. And Soma actually, Cemo actually unlocks the shop and the Chronomage soul. So Chronomage is a really good soul to have, as it's a sequence break in itself, as you can go for the Galamoth location using the Chronomage soul, and it is not required, it's not inside the logic, so he could do this kind of early check. Okay, Samurai Armor is not a really good armor, but I think it's better than anything that he has right now. But the Muramasa sword is a really good sword that can help you finish the game. It's like an S-tier sword in this game. It can hit up to 3 times and hit as the curse element, which is really good. Just a laser armor up here. And we find a good sword that will enhance the attack power of every of our runner. There are still 2 checks to do in study. One of them was locked behind the double jump. However, oh, and he does not. Cemo. Oh yes, Cemo remembers those checks, and both of them. Actually, this check on the right is locked behind the double jump, but only with Black Panther and jump you can go for it, as Black Panther allows you to kind of clip behind the corner of the pass. And we have our second book, which is this book that gives hint towards the blue soul. And so the blue book points toward the Great Armor Soul, which is not Catablibas that we found early on, and I think that Cemo was checking that if he had to go back to the reservoir, but seems like he's not. And he's going to do a nice skip to go towards the gargoyle here. And killing those gargoyle early on is actually pretty good, as it gives you some level. And the Armor of Fire, as Cemo just found, is a really good armor to use. With good defense, and that can be a way to not take as much damage as Cemo took previously. And so now the world is pretty open, and we will see if Cemo goes towards the dance hall or towards the inner corner first. Both of them are a good choice, but first he's going to do some checks. And also he can go to the clock tower by doing a sum of a sequence break, a double jump which is not inside the logic. So we see Olrox's suit, which is also a good armor, and we'll see what Hammer has to sell in his shop. So Cemo goes for the Olrox suit, which is a really good armor, and goes for all the high mind ups, as this is a good way to have mana and or magic points. And the magic points are the main resource you use when using the Mentor Soul in the fights, which is one of the ways to do one of the most optimal way to do damage in this game. Okay, so he's gonna do the check here first, which is the Mistletoe, some average holy sword. Oh, and he's going to take it. Oh no, he's not. So I guess that Cemo will be going towards the... Yeah, he's going to the clock tower, doing the sequence break early. That's weird. That's funny, because actually pretty much everything is open, as they have Chrono Mage, they have Slide, so they can do both unit quarters and then sword in the meantime, without doing any backtracking. But I think Cemo is thinking that Jupiter really likes doing early floating gardens, as this can be really rewarding, holding up Hippogriff. So yeah, this really paid off. And I guess that now having Hippogriff unlocks the top floor, which is one of the last area in the game. And also, we already found two books, with one which was behind Hippogriff, and I guess that this seed won't require our runner to go in the underground reservoir, as Scola might be really late and not required to find any of the books item. Oh, and he does not go pick up the second book? Oh yeah, you remember that. So Cemo is going to take the yellow book, which will give me information about the yellow soul we need in order to fight Braham. And this is Sucks Away Your Soul as a Green. This is Lilith, which is a soul that increases your intelligence by 4 or 8, I don't remember quite well. And I guess that Cemo is going to do the check in the bottom of inner quarters here. He's going to unlock the teleportation room right here by killing the Valkyrie in the meantime, which will give him a nice experience boost. And then he's going to do the top floor. At the end of the top floor, he's going to warp back to the inner quarters, and then he's going to do the inner quarters, the Galamoth, and then the dance hall in order to find, as we are looking for the third book and all the soul, as we do not have great armor and we do not have Lilith yet, and we do not know what the red soul is. Nice execution from cemo here, not taking any damage from the final guard armor. Flying armor, which is not the armor we're looking for as a blue soul. Actually, cemo is using the Osafune still, and he could go for the Muramasa, as it does a lot of damage to all the enemies in those rooms, especially the Lubicons. And the Lubicons gives about 500 XP, which is a lot at this point. And we found our yellow soul, so yeah, the theory of this seed not requiring the reservoir is becoming more and more appealing. And yes, cemo being forced to wait here as he doesn't have any way of gaining health back. He spent all of his money buying Hyman's up, and he does not have a lot of safety right now, so he's going to go for the safe strat, not trying anything risky. And here you have to be careful to dodge all those areas in order not to get hit and fall right at the bottom of this room, as there is a round room at the top you're looking for, and it has one check behind those two gargoyles. It's a bowl of ramen, one of the best food items in the game, so that's more safety for cemo. And yeah, they only do 6 damage right now, but they make you fall at the bottom. So okay, he has a great armor, so that's 2 out of 3 soul, and it's most probable that he already has the red soul, but it's not. Will he bet on one of the soul he has in order to fight Graham already? So yeah, he's going for it. That's a nice bet from our runner. As doing Graham with the Manticore Soul is much faster than anything else. So yeah, that's pretty risky. So Graham phase 1 teleports at random location in the room and does one of his 4 or 5 attacks. The attack that is the most wanted by any runner is where he throws fireballs, or when he goes at one of the end of the room, as you can use the Manticore Soul and do a lot of damage. Right now, Graham is phase 2, so cemo will try to hit him, and he has to equip all of the 3 soul in order to get the good ending by the end of this phase. So he has to remember to switch his Manticore Soul to the Great Armor anytime now. But he will still use it as it's one of the best DPS items. So okay, if he's betting on Une, there could be Disc Armor too. Really consistent with his strats. So we do not know if this actually worked, but he validated. He triggered the ending by killing the second phase, so now he can switch back to Manticore and he can do a lot of damage to the core of Graham. And you have to be really careful as the hand and the laser can maybe two-shot him. And I guess that was the right text, right? Yes. So... huge hit. Oh no, he died from that. Even if he found the right soul. So I guess we're seeing cemo trying again on the... Yeah, that's always rough when you die to Graham. And I guess he's not going for it again, as he doesn't have enough safety in order to do that. So he's going to do all inner quarters, as it can give him some more safety and some more... I don't know, he's going for the... He's going to go back at the shop in order to buy some items. And yeah, because he's so under level, I think he's going to go for a lot of safety. And this safety will help him for both Graham, Julius, and the Chaos fight. So he does not seem to be able to find any weapon that suits him, nor... Okay, so he's going to sell the Muramasa in order to buy the Lidotyne, which is a really good weapon. And the Yazutsuna. It's working. Okay, and the only potion, the only healing item he has is the potion, which is one of the worst healing items in the game. So he has to be really careful for all of his fights. But yeah, being able to kill Graham at 20 minutes is completely crazy. Yeah, and if because Scholar is required for Chaos, it's most likely to be behind Graham. If the logic considers that Scholar is only required for Chaos, usually it's either in the top floor or behind Graham, in order to tell you you don't have to use this soul in order to get the underground reservoir. Okay, still using the Manticore Soul as a really good damage option. Yeah, Doc. Actually, cemo. So, to those who arrived, cemo picked up the Graham fight after finding 2 books and 2 souls, and he bet on one of the red souls he found, and he actually got the right text after his first Graham, so he knows the combination, so he's able to do this Graham pretty early, and he does not have Scholar yet, but he has pretty much everything else needed in order to finish the game right now. He's just really under level, as doing such a Graham is really risky. Any unfortunately, I don't think we have any information on Jupiter. I'm trying to see if I have any information on that. Okay, so we are now on phase 3 of Graham, where our runner died previously. He has slides, so he can move while crouching the hand attack. But he has to be really careful. The hand attack can kill him in 2 or 3 hits. Having to fight those bosses so early is really exhausting, as the fights are really long. And you have to be careful, and you do not do as much damage as you could if you had all the equipment from the late game. So yeah, the worst part on this fight are the hands, as the way they attack is random, and you want to manipulate the lasers thing on top of the room to attack you when a hand is attacking you at the same time, so you have room to do some damage. And Graham is done in 26 minutes. That is crazy. And so we have Soma Dracula at 8 minutes, and here is Scrolla. So actually, cemo can finish the game. That is completely incredible. So I guess cemo will save first, or he will directly go towards the clock tower from the shortcut that is available at the end of stop floor. He has a couple of checks on his way, but he mainly wants to go to Julius. So here we have only an army uniform, which is not good armor. Our runner would be dying to have something like Flame Solace or an Eversing or a really good stuff. Or I guess any healing item is good. Cream Soda is not top tier healing item, but it's good anyway, so we take those. Well, actually, Graham was the 4th boss. Cemo did Shrieking Skull, Manticore, Great Armor, and then Graham. Wow, going to Julius under 30 minutes is actually completely crazy. Okay, so Julius has in total 6,000 HP, and he's doing about 30 damage per hit. First phase is 4,000, second phase is 2,000. Each time Julius takes 4 hits, he will dash back. And he hits like a truck. So you want to be really careful for any of his hits. And thank you to SpeedGaming 2 for the raid. We're actually watching the winners final of the Castlevania Aria Randomizer, and cemo made a huge bet that paid off. And unfortunately, we do not have any information on Jupiter right now, but I guess we will have any updates when available. And cemo is going wild on his fight against Julius, not taking any hit from the beginning, except for one. He's using the Golem Soul he found earlier in order to have a nice 12 strength boost, which helped him do a little more damage, getting from 30 damage per hit to 39. Ooh, he has to be really careful, as he could have died from a hit back there. And we will know that Julius will be going to phase 2 when he's doing his Grand Cross attack. So those not familiar with the Castlevania series may remember the Grand Cross attack, as it is used as the final smash for the element in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And in this game, it's as powerful as it does a real lot of damage, and it makes Julius completely invulnerable during the attack. So you have to run away as fast as you can, and the attack is sucking you in, as it wasn't as powerful as Actually, Cemo is going on a really good fight against Julius, as he took only 4 hits from now. 4 hits from Julius is really not something... It's really not that much. But because he's so under level, he takes so much damage from Julius. Usually Julius does about 100, and now he's doing 130, and that's really a lot of damage. And he can die only for 3 hits. I guess he wants to have a lot of safety in order to not die from 2 hits. As you can now, Julius has access to all the classic Castlevania weapons, and he can get 2 hits and really fast. And he does not have the stagger you can do to him from the classical 4 hits. So now every hit, you can consider that this boss has like super armor. So you have to get every hit as clean as you can. Okay, so if you guess that if you see the boss turning invisible, it's something from the stream. When you're playing, you do not see... you see Julius flicker, but you do not see him going invisible, so the runner always sees where Julius is. But yeah, this fight is actually really impressive. He has a ramen and a high potion, so he's only 1 healing item left. And he still has to go through Chaos Phase 1 and Phase 2, which are really difficult fights. But I'd say that Julius is one of the most difficult fights in the game. We hear Domeda from Soma, which tells us that Julius is almost dead, and whew, this was a 2-minute or 3-minute fight. This is really intense. So entering the chaotic realm at 32 like that, it might be actually faster than some glitchless run. And I think we never saw like such crazy fast pace on a Castlevania scene. Okay, so here we have Bird Guard, which is not a good sword. It's like a B tier. It does about 80 damage, but it has one nice effect of giving you some defense. I guess it's like 4 stat of defense. Okay, so Chaotic Realm is pretty difficult from here, as you have to avoid getting hit from a lot of enemies that can do about 100 damage to you. Some of them are not as powerful. And you have a save room here, which helps you refill all of your HP. Cemo does not take the save, so he's pretty confident in his navigation. And here is the room where Skull Eyes are required, only to get under this part here. And now Skull Eyes is not needed anymore. Cemo not doing the... oh yeah, he is doing it. So there is Randomizer Spear, which is one of the best holy items in the game. And Cemo is hesitating, as it could be a really good item to do the Chaos fight, and he's not going for it. It's a good item as it can do about 120 damage to everything it touches, but this is a slow weapon and you have to backdash cancel every hit. Cemo has backdash, but I guess that he wants to go for safety, as most runners are used to run with the sort of classical sword attack and not this weird spear attack the Rando spear has. So he wants to go for something safe with the live attack, which is a really good weapon overall. But he's going for chaos under level 10. That is crazy. And yeah, sub 35 final save. We are going to chaos with cemo at 35 minutes. That is crazy. I hope we have any update from Jupiter anytime soon. Okay, so Chaos Phase 1 are those 3 statues. Each one contains all of your soul of its color, and each one has a particular attack. So the yellow one will have this kind of blue target that when it hits you will drain all of your MP. So I guess that Cemo wants it to be gone as fast as possible in order to get some mana or some magic points for the Phase 2. The blue one is also quite dangerous, as it can turn into this dragon thing and it does about 200 damage to you. And the red one does this free crystal attack where you can hit all the crystals back in order to not take any damage. So the yellow one is down as the blue one is, so now he only has the red one to take down, as he can generate some magic points for Phase 2. And magic point will be of a great use towards the second phase. Also, we can note that Cemo didn't take any hits from the dragon in this part, which is kind of random, so that's great gameplay from him. Great execution. But yeah, I think this is one of the fastest time we've ever had on a randomizer. Okay, so on this part, this is a really hard fight, as there are many attacks that come from any direction. So as you see, you have this center attack where you have all those projectiles that come from the center. Those projectiles are always the same, and they can either go clockwise or counterclockwise. And then you have the dragon, and the dragon is maybe the most trolly thing that ever exists, as it goes from random direction to random direction. It can shoot this blue ball that does a lot of damage to you, and then there are those smaller blue balls that when they come in contact to you, they have a small time and then they detonate, and it does about 200 damage to yourself. So if Cemo gets hit by 2 or more, by 2 attacks, basically, he's dead. So this is a really risky fight. And in this fight you can destroy the eyes on the top corner of each side of the room. And when each eye is dead, it lowers the defense of the core, and the core has a lot of HP. So one strat is going for the Manticore Soul spell, as it can bypass the huge defense the core has with just destroying 2 eyes. But because Cemo is so under level, he cannot do enough damage to bypass the fact that he still has only 1 whenever he hit, or he will have to destroy all the 4 eyes from the top of the room. And the first 2 that are on the ground are not that difficult to destroy, as they are giant cancelable attacks, so you can do a lot of damage to them. And I guess Cemo is dead, unfortunately, as he got hit by one of the blue balls. Yeah, he got stickied, and that's one of the worst things to happen. Okay, so I have an update. Jupiter actually finished a minute ago. And Jupiter did not notice that his internet was going down. And he did not notice that his internet went down without telling him. So we have confirmation that Jupiter did finish the race when Cemo died on Chaos 2. And we have the final time from Jupiter, which is 36:59, which is the best time ever recorded in a race. That is actually crazy. Jupiter just booted up his internet again. That is incredible. Wow. So you're not seeing anything because this is actually happening on the Discord server, but Jupiter is so mad that his internet went down without him being noticed that he does not want to take this as a win. He wants to play this. So we might, even if this was actually a crazy seed, we might get another replay from this race. I guess we are not going to know it right now. Maybe we'll settle it in the couple of days. But actually, Jupiter is so mad against his internet connection. So yeah, if you guys want to get any tips or advice in order to get started in this randomizer, you should join the Discord server. I guess you have the command from the Discord here, and there are a lot of tools and people that can help you setting everything up. All you have to get from yourself is Castlevania GBA ROM, and then you can play the game just naturally. We are having a second randomizer, which is called the Fuse Rando, that is going to be up for some time. And you have a tracker that is available on the emo tracker that I did, and also there are a lot of nice people that are able to interact with you and to propose you race to do anytime soon. So don't forget to follow the runner and give them a like. Also, thanks to SpeedGaming for this awesome but quick match. Usually, random matches are between 50 to 1 hour and a half, and this was a 36-minute match. That's actually nuts. Seeds are actually 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes. That's the average time for a seed. Some seeds can be really long, but 30 minutes is hell fast. There are two major categories. There are seeds that give you Schola right after the Graham fight, and seeds that require Schola in order to get to Graham. And seeds that require Schola in order to get to Graham are much longer, as there are at least like half of the castle you have to explore that we didn't see in this seed. When I think of it, this seed was crazy fast. It's incredible. Having all of... And the bet of the Unisol without having the Red Book, that's actually mad. So yeah, anyway, GG's Jupiter, GG's Sivo, this was an awesome race. I hope everyone in the chat liked it. But yeah, actually, execution in this fight, I would have loved to see Jupiter fight in this condition, because going to Chaos under level 10 is actually mad. I don't think I'm able to do something like this, so you guys are nuts. Just know that. So yeah, actually, Simbo, I have a question for you. How did you guess book 1? Did you just like said like I have Une, I have this armor, or is there something that make you think that Une was more likely to be than this armor? I guess book 1 was. My think is that book 1 was in the dance hall in something like one of the slide location. I guess it was one of the most likely things to happen, as we didn't see anything in the clock tower. We didn't see anything in the forbidden, in the floating gardens. So it was either in the on top of the inner quarters, or it would have been in the dance hall. And the dance hall actually can hold back a lot of things behind the slide locations, so I guess it would have been here. Also, you could have accessed the Galamoth place with Chronomage, but that was not inside the logic, so maybe it would have been something like a good armor or a good weapon. And the Sherman ring spot, yeah, of course. But that one was in logic because Hippogriff was obtained. But also, what could have happened is that Undyne would have been in the dance hall or in the inner quarters, as Hippogriff was in the floating gardens, and you cannot access the floating gardens unless you have Undyne. Yeah, the Sherman ring is the dance hall singing check. The one where you need the Hippogriff or the Kikar skeleton to go in. Yeah, you can. The Chronomage room does get in logic with just Galamoth and the inner quarter access, but with Chronomage, you can access it, but you do not have Galamoth in order to access the Chronomage room. Like when using the Chronomage soul, you stop time, and by stopping time, you access, but you cannot go to. Well, I messed up my explanation. When you access the room where the Chronomage is, you can use his soul. It will stop time, but if you do not have the Galamoth soul, you can still access the end of the room. So yeah, that's the point of the sequence break you can do with the. The sequence break you can do. So I guess we're going to. To finish this race. We have the run in the chat. I don't know if you guys want to come on the SG3 Discord, but if we don't have any match up yet, I guess that we might have some SG channel to raid. I saw that there was the Diablo 1 PvP Championship happening now at SG4, so I guess we could go here. Otherwise, I guess I will return to the pre-race screen. And mark the episode as finished, as we have a winner for this race. We will keep you informed if the race is going to be postponed or anything. But anyway, this was actually a crazy seed. So hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to give the runners a follow. And I guess we'll see you guys soon. So thanks for listening, and I hope you, and don't hesitate to join the Discord server and to check the awesome runners. Okay, so I guess that does it for me and this commentary. So goodbye everyone, and take care.